What is up, players? It's Warboss Tay up in this mug. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about Belladamma Volga, the first of the Vyrkos. The Vyrkos dynasty is the one that traces its lineage not to Nagash, like all of the other spooky vampires, but rather to a god beast who just happened to be a big scary wolf, which is why so many of their models have wolf themes to them. They're tracing their lineage down, you could tell, because Belladamma herself has these big hairy wolf legs. Radakar the wolf has that wolf cape on his shoulder. I think that was more because he killed that wolf creature that was guarding the vampire's tomb. But I mean, he's called the wolf. You got wolves everywhere. Dire wolves are a big part of this new release. So that's this one dynasty's thing. It's kind of like Space Wolves. Everything is wolfy, and that's okay. Hey, thank you so much to my patrons: Daniel Sprinkles, Scragfist, Pix, Dicey Guy, Play Painted, Logan Swanson. Thank you for supporting me for all of these months. I really, truly appreciate it. It really does help when I'm trying to pick out what I'm going to be able to afford to actually get my hands on and review. I really appreciate it, and my studio really appreciates it. Thank you so much. If you'd like to join them and become a patron, then the link is down below in the description, as well as the link to this Discord if you guys would like to join that, where we're posting up lots of pictures of our works in progress, our finished projects, anything and everything. You can find it there. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the Vyrkos clan. Like I said in the latest article on the different bloodlines in the Soulblight Gravelords, the Vyrkos clan is called the Wolf Pack, and they are described as having traced their lineage to a mythical wolf god beast, which is why a lot of their spirit totems are very wolf themed. And Rathabak, who is Belladamma's wolf mount here, is actually rumored to be a previous suitor, and it's said in the lore that she can turn a mortal into a wolf with a wave of her hand. And see, that's what, man, it doesn't make sense to me why Games Workshop didn't take this opportunity to just throw in werewolves. Have werewolves in your army. Then you can have the vampires and the werewolves. You could do a whole universal monsters theme to your spooky army. And you got zombies and skeletons, vampires and werewolves. It just doesn't make any sense. Then you could have thrown in some Frankenstein things. Man, this really could have been their way of including all of... Well, I guess, now that I think about it, those Morghast guys are the Frankenstein bone monsters. Okay, now I'm really veering off into tangents. Let's get back to Belladamma. First things first. What a dumb name, Belladamma. It should be Belladonna, or it should have just been something that doesn't sound anything like Belladonna, because who's gonna call it Belladamma? The fiction of the naming aside, I do like this model. I do like I didn't even notice that she had wolf legs until I really was analyzing this model so that I could break it down for you guys. The fact that her wolf legs are painted brown, I think, is a great contrast, because most of the wolves we've seen in Cursed City and these dire wolves here are white, snowy wolves, and then that is a contrast to the dire wolf figures, which we're going to talk about it a little bit later, because they're dark to contrast the bone and the blood, the gory parts of their skin that's sticking out. So brown skin for her, great. I love the Russian kind of theme that they've got with the stitching up the front of her dress. I love the hat. I love the feathered shoulder pad thing she's got going. Everything about this model works really great for me. And then you come to the sword. This reminds me a lot of Radakar the Wolf's sword from Warhammer Quest Cursed City. It's also the sword you could see stuck into the base of Radakar the Beast. Is this the exact same one? Is it a different one that's just very similar? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, but just like all of those other swords, I hate the look of it. It just looks like it looks like an old corroded, rusted weapon that has just kind of fallen apart. And I think the fiction for Radakar's sword is that it's a magical ensorcelled blade. Like they all are, right? The big boss weapons all have some kind of magical property to it. But it doesn't seem interesting whatsoever. Even the hilt doesn't seem decorated or gilded. The sword itself looks randomly like it was dipped in acid. It just doesn't make any sense. I love the wolves. I love their positioning, how they look like they're ready to pounce. They look like they're prowling. The one on the rock has almost his shoulders hunched, and he's got that snarl. The one under the rock looks like he's sneaking around, and I like the curve of his body, the lines of these figures. Now that they're not going flat, like if you think about those old Warhammer figures from the 90s and early 2000s made in metal where they had to be flat, there wasn't really any dimension to them. The Howling Banshees, the Spirit Seers, and 40k, all of them were very flat, and they didn't have depth. They weren't very three-dimensional. These look really great. Like they're, you can see them on a 3D. If we had a 360-degree view of Belladamma Volga, I think we would see how the wolf is sneaking around and the way his body is angled. It's all just really, really great. And to round her out, see, it would have been so great if they had werewolves, because then you could have Belladamma Volga, you could have the werewolves being an elite troop choice, and then you could have these dire wolves as your chaff, your fodder, your quick-moving distraction units, and then it would make more sense that the dynasty was really represented by these vampire werewolf hybrids. All right, let's take a look at these models though, because overall I love these dire wolves. The current dire wolf models are really nice, but these look way more updated. The strips of skin, the wounds in the bodies look more natural. It looks like a corpse that's just slowly starting to fall apart. The tears and the gaps in its skin. You can also paint one like this guy with the green eyes where it looks like his skin is more intact and it hasn't fallen apart as much. This one looks like it's really bad. Its skin is almost peeled away completely from its face, and this is my favorite because it's got the crow on its back just tearing at it. I love it. These dire wolves are great. Belladamma Volga, A+. These dire wolves, A+. In a range that is full of hits and misses, the wolf figures are spot on. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Do you think these are great figures? And do you think that they're the right direction? Or are you against it? Do you not like that? I'm curious, let me know. And again, I said if you'd like to join me in my Discord or support my studio directly, Discord and Patreon links are down below. I hope you guys are having a great day. I truly appreciate everything you guys are doing, watching, clicking the like button, leaving me a comment. It really helps me out with the algorithm, and it helps me get my videos out to more people. So if you'd like to see me continue making all that content, I thank you so much for your support. We'll see you in the next video. Stay safe out there. Latest, players.